Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive. And today we're looking at a company that's either a fashion disaster or a stroke of brilliance.
I think I know which one you're leaning towards.
Haha. I'm talking about Crocs. You know those colorful, holy shoes that everyone loves to hate or hates to love?
Or just loves.
Right, exactly. And that's what makes them so fascinating. They're polarizing, but they're also incredibly successful. Their stock is defying expectations, and some analysts are scratching their heads trying to figure out why.
Well, let's try and figure it out then, shall we?
Absolutely. We're going to dive deep into their recent performance, their valuation, and what the future might hold for this quirky company. Our source material today is a really interesting article from The Motley Fool, aptly titled Crocs Rocks Wall Street's Socks Off, published just today, February 13th, 2025.
Catchy title.
Right. And the article itself is packed with insights. It highlights Crocs' recent blowout holiday quarter Q4 2024. And get this, their revenue growth came in at a modest 3%, adjusted to 4% with currency factored in.
Yeah. Not exactly earth-shattering numbers at first glance.
Exactly. So why all the hype? Why is everyone so excited about what seems like pretty average growth?
Well, because the experts, the analysts, predicted something completely different. They thought Crocs would be in trouble. They forecasted flat revenue.
Flat, so no growth at all.
Yep. And even worse, they predicted a 12% dip in adjusted earnings.
Wow, so they were expecting Crocs to, sink.
Basically. But instead, they kind of, rocked it. They exceeded expectations by a mile.
I'm starting to see why the Motley Fool chose that title.
Right. And get this, their adjusted net income only decreased by 2%. Way better than anyone anticipated.
So it's like they came to the party, everyone thought they'd bring a boring dish, and they ended up with the surprise hit of the night.
The best kind of surprise.
And the thing is, this isn't a one-time fluke for Crocs. The article points out that they've consistently beaten earnings estimates for, get this, 4 quarters straight. And not just by a little bit, we're talking double-digit percentages.
They're on a roll. There's no doubt about it. Consistently exceeding expectations.
You'd think their stock would be, skyrocketing.
You would, wouldn't you? But that's where things get really interesting and, a bit puzzling.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What's the puzzle here?
Despite this incredible track record, Crocs is trading at a single-digit PE ratio.
Okay, for those of us who don't speak fluent Wall Street, break that down for us. What does a single-digit PE ratio actually mean? And why is that significant?
Sure. So imagine you're buying a rental property. The PE ratio is kind of like comparing the purchase price of that property to the potential rental income you could earn from it.
Okay, I'm following so far. So a low PE ratio means?
It suggests that you're getting a lot of potential income or earnings for the price you're paying. It's like finding a bargain, basically.
So Crocs is like that charming fixer-upper house with tons of potential, but a surprisingly low price tag.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's trading at just 6.8 times last year's earnings. That's remarkably low, especially considering their consistent profitability and strong brand recognition.
Okay, but there's got to be a reason why the market isn't jumping all over this supposed bargain. Is there something we're missing here? Some hidden risk or red flag?
Well, some analysts might point to their debt, particularly after the Hey Dude acquisition.
Yes, the Hey Dude acquisition. That was a big move. Did they bite off more than they could chew? Are they drowning in debt?
That's the question a lot of people are asking. But let's look at the numbers. They ended 2024 with under $1.4 billion in debt after paying off a significant chunk, $323 million. And their debt-to-EBITDA ratio, which essentially measures how easily they can handle their debt burden, sits at a pretty manageable 1.4.
So not drowning, but definitely swimming with some weight around their ankles.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
But it's important to compare that to other players in the industry.
Right. Context is everything. So how does Crocs' debt situation stack up against the big guys?
Well, believe it or not, their debt-to-EBITDA ratio is actually lower than both Nike and Skechers. So while debt is certainly a factor to consider, it's not this giant red flag waving in the wind.
Okay, so we've got a company that's beating earnings expectations consistently, managing its debt reasonably well, and trading at a super low price. Why are investors throwing money at them? I'm starting to get a little skeptical. Help me understand this.
Let's take a step back and look at their growth trajectory. Before 2024, Crocs had 5 consecutive years of double-digit revenue growth. That's impressive, like hitting a home run every year for 5 years straight.
Wow, that's a pretty solid track record. So what happened in 2024? Did they hit a wall?
There was a bit of a slowdown in 2024, but it's important to compare that to how other companies in the industry are doing. Take Nike, for example.
Ah, the giant of the footwear world. How does Crocs compare to Nike in terms of growth?
Well, Nike only achieved that kind of double-digit revenue growth once in the same time frame. And get this, they've actually been dealing with revenue declines for 3 quarters in a row.
Wait a minute, so you're telling me that Crocs, the supposed underdog, has a better recent growth story than Nike, but the market is valuing Nike way higher. Something doesn't add up here.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Why is Crocs trading at such a significant discount compared to Nike, despite a stronger recent growth history? It's as though the market hasn't fully grasped Crocs' potential.
Yeah, it's like people are still stuck on that image of Crocs as just those, clunky, colorful clogs.
But classic Crocs, right.
Yeah.
But they've evolved so much beyond that. They've got sandals, platforms, even high-fashion collaborations.
They're branching out, becoming more diverse, and appealing to a wider audience. It's like they're shedding that old, maybe even a bit uncool image.
Exactly. They're not just clinging to that one iconic product anymore. They're innovating, experimenting, and really trying to capture a broader slice of the market.
Okay.
And you know what? It seems to be working.
Okay, so they're adaptable. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. That's smart. But haven't some analysts been, waving red flags about Crocs? Haven't they been, sounding the alarm?
There have been a few doubters, that's for sure. Firms like Baird and Williams Trading, for example, have lowered their price targets or even downgraded Crocs stock.
So what's their beef? Why are they so down on Crocs?
It boils down to a couple of key concerns. One is the overall weakening trend in the footwear market. People are spending less on shoes, which could impact everyone, including Crocs.
Okay, that's a valid point. A rising tide lifts all boats, and a falling tide. Well, you get the idea. What's the other concern?
The other big worry is the Hey Dude acquisition. Some analysts are skeptical about its long-term success. They worry it might become more of a burden than a boon for Crocs.
Yeah, it's like, did they bite off more than they could chew? Will they be able to integrate Hey Dude effectively and make it profitable?
Right. Those are legitimate concerns. But here's the thing. Crocs' recent Q4 2024 performance seems to contradict those fears. Their core Crocs brand revenue still grew by 4%, and even Hey Dude, while sales were flat, performed better than many analysts had anticipated.
So they're exceeding expectations even in a challenging market, and the Hey Dude acquisition, while maybe not a home run yet, is at least holding its own.
Exactly. It's like they're proving the doubters wrong, at least for now.
So we've got a company that's defying the odds, outperforming expectations, and trading at a price that seems too good to be true. It's a bit of a head-scratcher, isn't it?
It is, and that's what makes this deep dive so intriguing. There's a real disconnect between Crocs' actual performance and how the market seems to be perceiving them. It's almost as though they're flying under the radar, which begs the question, are they truly undervalued, or are we missing something crucial?
It's like a mystery we need to solve. Is Crocs a hidden gem, or is there something lurking beneath the surface?
Well, to crack this case, we need to look at all the angles.
Exactly. And one angle that really stands out to me is their direct-to-consumer strategy. They're really pushing their own stores and website, building strong relationships with customers directly.
Yeah, that's a key differentiator for them. It gives them more control over pricing and branding.
So they're cutting out the middleman, going straight to the source.
Precisely. That allows them to compete more effectively with giants like Nike, who often rely heavily on wholesale partnerships.
It's like they're setting up shop right next to the big department store, offering a more personalized, unique experience.
Exactly. It also helps them control their narrative. They're not just relying on others to sell their products, they're crafting their own story.
And that story seems to be resonating. They're not just clinging to the classic clogs anymore, right? They're constantly innovating with new styles and collaborations. They're even dipping their toes into the high fashion world.
You're right, they've got sandals, platforms, even those high fashion collaborations you mentioned. And they're savvy marketers, engaging with younger audiences through celebrities and influencers.
It's almost like they've become the cool kid on the block, shedding that uncool image they had before.
Definitely. They've managed to reinvent themselves without losing their core identity. That's a tough balancing act.
But let's get back to this Hey Dude acquisition for a second. It still feels a bit like a gamble to me. What's the potential upside here? And what are the risks we should be thinking about?
The Hey Dude brand gives Crocs access to a whole new market. They're known for comfortable, casual shoes. A perfect complement to Crocs' existing lineup.
So it's like expanding their menu to offer something for everyone.
Yes. They're not just a one-trick pony anymore. They can cater to a wider range of tastes and preferences, increasing their potential customer base significantly.
But couldn't that also backfire? Trying to do too much and losing focus? I mean, it's a classic business dilemma.
Absolutely. There's always a risk of spreading themselves too thin. If they don't manage the integration carefully, the HeyDude acquisition could become a drag on their resources and profitability.
So it's a high-stakes game. If they play it right, it could be a home run. But if they stumble, it could set them back.
And that's the inherent tension in investing, weighing the potential rewards against the risks. With Crocs, the equation seems particularly interesting.
Okay, let's bring it back to our listener for a minute. What's the key takeaway from all of this? What do we want them to walk away with?
I think the key takeaway here is the importance of looking beyond the surface. Crocs is a prime example of a company that's been underestimated and overlooked. They've defied expectations, showing resilience and a knack for adapting to a changing market.
It's like they're the underdog that keeps winning.
Right. And that's a valuable lesson for investors. Don't dismiss a company just because it doesn't fit the conventional mold. Sometimes, the most unassuming companies have the greatest potential for growth and innovation.
And Crocs certainly fits that description. They're not afraid to push boundaries and challenge conventions. It's a reminder that success can come in many forms.
Exactly. And who knows what the future holds? Maybe one day, those iconic Crocs will be sharing shelf space with Nike and Adidas, not as the underdog, but as a true industry leader.
It's a bold thought, isn't it? Could Crocs actually go toe-to-toe with the industry titans? It sounds crazy, but then again, they've already surprised us so many times. I mean, it's a pretty wild thought, right? Those colorful clogs taking on the giants of the footwear world. But they've already come so far.
It might seem far-fetched to some, but remember, Crocs has already disrupted the market in ways no one could have predicted. They've proven they can innovate, they can adapt, and they know how to connect with consumers in a way that a lot of brands struggle with.
It's like they've tapped into some secret formula, you know? Comfort, affordability, and a dash of that irreverence. They're not afraid to be different, and in a world where everyone's trying to fit in, that really stands out.
Yeah, it's that authenticity that resonates with people. In a world full of cookie-cutter brands, Crocs is unapologetically Crocs, and people appreciate that.
And let's not forget about their commitment to those direct-to-consumer sales. It gives them a level of control that a lot of those traditional footwear brands just don't have. They're not at the mercy of department stores or big retailers. They're charting their own course.
Exactly. That independent spirit could be their biggest advantage in the long run. It allows them to be nimble, responsive to changing trends, and that's something that big, slow-moving companies often struggle with.
So what you're saying is Crocs, with its quirky clogs and comfy sandals, could actually become a legitimate threat to the Nikes and Adidas of the world.
It's certainly possible. There will be challenges, of course. No company has a smooth ride to the top, but they've shown a remarkable ability to overcome obstacles and defy expectations. They're a company worth keeping an eye on.
It's a classic underdog story, isn't it? The little company that could. Proving that even in a tough industry like footwear, a good idea, smart strategy, and a willingness to do things differently can lead to some pretty amazing success.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, this deep dive into the world of Crocs, I think it offers a few valuable takeaways. Don't underestimate the power of a company that challenges conventions, adapts to change, and connects with its customers authentically. Those are often the qualities that separate the winners from the also-rans in the long run. Keep your eyes open for those hidden gems, those companies that are defying expectations and forging their own path, because you never know where the next big success story is going to come from.